Good Friday morning to you. It's Friday, February 7, 2020. A lot is going on today. I wanted to share with you, if you haven't heard, that Dr. Li Wenliang, the Chinese doctor in Wuhan who blew the whistle on the coronavirus, has passed. That's expressed a lot of anger in China, and it's still in its first month. I know that I mentioned to be careful when you go out there, but I don't want to alarm anybody because most of the people are quarantined. Anyone entering the United States and anyone that has visited that city where the outbreak took place. Currently, there are 28,000 plus cases. New are discovered every day. This doctor, I think he contracted it only December 30th or so, and it hasn't even been a month. 600 other people have died of the disease as well. This is serious. Many countries are closing off their borders. Cruise ships have been denied entry, leaving people quarantined for a minimum of 2 weeks. We have it here in the United States, as I mentioned earlier, but this is a global epidemic. Other things that are happening here in the United States are storms rolling across our country. A lot of states are having very bad weather, from flooding to snow and all kinds of problems. So be safe out there. It's New York Fashion Week. I love this time of year. I don't know if you're into fashion or not. And one other thing before I get into what I want to talk to you about today. I'm upset that the Trump administration is finalizing plans after 2 years of announcing they're going to reverse Barack Obama's protection. They're going to allow development on 2 million acres on the Grand Staircase Escalante National Monument, and it's just outside Blanding, Utah. Who are the benefactors? The energy developers and ranchers. The losers? Indigenous people, tribal groups, like the Cherokee Nation, who has sued in federal court. Despite the lawsuit, the Trump administration is going ahead. As you know, national monuments are protected under the 1906 Antiquities Act, and for some reason, why the Trump administration chose this monument to open it up to development is unclear, but it is upsetting some people in the west, out west, and you should be concerned too. So today I want to talk to you about your budding writing career. Have you thought about being a writer? Have you ever wanted to write a book? I bet you have a book inside of you. Well, I have always wanted to be an author. I remember when I was in the 5th grade, standing before my class giving a book report. Remember that time when everybody was screaming and they were all so worried about standing in public and talking? I wasn't worried at all. I just got up there, talked about my report, got down, and I remember as I was going back to my seat how I thought, I'm going to write, but at that point I said a children's book, a book one day. So I remember I was barely 10 years old and I knew I wanted to be an author. Remember how I told you, you know inside of you what you want to be, what you want to do? Just think back to those times of when you were young, when you could dream big. Yeah, those dreams are still inside of you. Trust me, they did not go away. You just ignored them. So, writing, yes, I love writing. As a matter of fact, I love writing so much, I went into journalism. I pursued it in high school. I was on my school newspaper staff. I pursued it as a career at one point after I left advertising, going to Washington, D.C., and working for top news organizations. I got a lot of experience. Now, being a journalist and a writer of day-to-day events that happen does not allow you to write where if you want to look at history or look at events in hindsight and other types of writing. And even though I'm working on a freelance writing career and I'm currently taking the freelance writer boot camp with Rebecca L. Weber. If you don't know her, she is my coach. I follow her podcast, The Writing Coach. And in today's episode, number 76, she talks about late bloomers, which I am. And in it, she actually mentions me in my review of her podcast, which I found, and I'm so thankful that I did. In addition to the writing boot camp that I'm taking, I'm also part of Hay House Writers Community. We just finished our second of 4 webinars that we're doing online with Reed Tracy, the CEO, and also Kelly Notaris, who is a teacher with Reed. In addition to that, there's 2 more that are going to be played out tomorrow night on Saturday, February 8th, and then 1 more next week. And it's just to get us ready for writing. So it addresses many different levels, whether you're a beginner, whether you're already writing, whether you're ready to publish, and also the final stage of promotion. What I love about Hay House and what the programs that they have to offer, they keep reminding us that Louise Hay, the founder of Hay House, she founded Hay House when she was 60 years old. Remember what I said? You're never too old to start anything new. It doesn't matter what you write about. They encourage you to just write about, whether you want to write a memoir or you want to write about how you achieve something or anything that happened in your life that you feel will help people. That is what I love about Hay House. Their authors that they carry, their programs that they have for you. There are so many books out there. And yesterday I happened to receive the book You Were Born to Write, which I ordered. And it is by Kelly Notaris, one of the 2 teachers in the Hay House Writers online that I'm taking 10 days to, get your writing on track. Actually, I'm going to get to meet her and read as well, because I have signed up for the writers workshop in March that they're having in Boston. So these are all things that I'm doing to prepare myself. You might not be that far. It's okay. I have been writing and working on at least 3 books that I can really say that I've had in the back of my mind. One of them is a memoir about my mom's father, and the story of him as being an immigrant who came to this country when he was, I think, 14 years old. He ran away from his village in the Bekaa Valley, which was part of Greater Syria and today part of Lebanon. And he came here to this country, I believe 1906 is the first time he came. And the reason why he ran away from his village is because he was starving to death. There wasn't enough food to eat. They lived in a village. And I found this story to be fascinating. Anything to do with immigration, immigrants, are responsible for building this country. More than 20 to 30 million immigrants came here during the Great Migration period. Between 1880 to 1924. You might actually be a descendant of an immigrant and have your own story. So I urge you to know your family history. The other book that I'm working on, of course, is a memoir. It's something that everyone thinks of writing. And not just famous people write memoirs. So that's something that you should leave as a legacy. And the other book that I've been working on is more hard-hitting, hard news called Interruptive Journalism, in where I talk about stories that are breaking news, that are interrupting us in our daily lives, and how to deal with this information. I have a Facebook page to deal with that book if you're interested in being interviewed. I know not everybody is interested in news. You're more interested in your life, and that's okay, and raising your family. But if you are interested, please go to my Facebook page, Sabah Fakuri, that deals with that book specifically. So one more thing before that we go today. What we're dealing with is looking for hooks. That term, a hook, is something that we use when we are producing a segment on television or writing something in a newspaper or promoting a book. A hook is like a one-liner that tells you, the consumer, of what it is that we're trying to convey and what the author can help you with. So these are very important, and they are actual things that I rely on when I'm preparing for my podcast. Also, when I'm scrolling through my news feeds, I'm always looking to see what I can include of what I feel is important. And the final thing that I want you to think about, if you do ever want to become an author and a writer, and maybe your life is too busy now raising children or in school or your career, and you just don't have the time to focus on it, one practice that I learned is that if you just spend 15 minutes a day, it might be more some days, just set aside that time. You never know how much you could actually get accomplished. Now, Kelly talks about different strategies in that book You Were Born to Write, in where she says, finding the hook, getting an outline and preparing, to write that book, and sitting down and deciding that you're going to have to change your lifestyle, where you might have to cut out something for a while, like exercise while you're trying to write that book, or something else, that you carve out that time and you schedule it in your day. It's very important that you put it in your planner. You have to be diligent about it. Maybe you might not write every day, but set that intention that you are going to write it. In the writers community, when you join, we take a writer's pledge where we state how much time we're going to spend per day or how many words we're going to write. And they have us sign it and date it. We're committed. Make the commitment today. I hope that you'll think about writing your book. It's something that's very popular with people once you get into your 50s and 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. You have life experiences that you can share with the world that could help them. Don't keep them a secret. We want to know. Go out there and write and make it a great day.